In this class we're going to talk about the value of information. Now, information is only useful if it benefits the recipient. The recipient of information may use the information to improve decision making. And that's the key thing about information. If it is useful, it does help in decision making. The more information we've got, presumably, the better the quality of our decision making. If better decisions result from the use of information, then the information is of value. Clearly, if the decisions were bad and were based on the information itself was bad, or something was wrong. Now, the value of information, well, if information is not used, it doesn't have any value. If it's not used, it doesn't have value. That's like many things. If it's not used, it's not of value. If it is used and improves decision making, then it is of value. Data capture, that's collecting the data and recording it, involves a cost. Getting data is not free. And it doesn't produce, in itself, it doesn't produce a value. When the data is communicated and understood, it becomes information. So we have a distinction here between data and information. Data is the crude facts that are collected. When the information is used, it becomes information. Sometimes the data has to be processed before it becomes information. We might have to apply statistical techniques, for example, or some sort of interpretation on the facts. At that point, it may become information. Finally, we may summarize the value of information as follows. The value of information is just simply sometimes expressed as V minus C, where V is the value of the improved decision making arising out of the use of information, and C is the cost of collecting the data, processing it, and communicating it. Now, what are the characteristics of good information? Well, the information has to be understood by the recipient. If it's not understood, it's not good information. It has to create value. Good information has to create value. That's what makes it good. In practice, good information has several characteristics which are worth noting. First of all, good information has to be relevant. Secondly, it has to be accurate. Then it has to be complete. And finally, we have to have confidence in it. Let's look across each of these quickly. The first one is relevance. The information communicated must be relevant or related to some aspect of work. If it's not relevant, then it's not useful and therefore has no value, or perhaps has little value. And finally, for information to be relevant, it must be in good time. You can't be late. Accuracy. If information is not accurate, if it contains errors, for example, then it may lead to bad decisions. Good information is accurate. And also, accuracy involves passing the information to the right person. If a wrong person receives the information, it'll either not be used, or it'll involve another cost in passing it back to the appropriate person. Completeness. Well, good information contains all the relevant data. If there are gaps in the information, then its value is reduced. Poor quality decisions may arise from the use of incomplete information. The data must be complete, no gaps. And finally, there must be confidence in the data. The readiness on the part of the recipient to use the information depends on the confidence that they have in that source of information. The recipient must be confident that the information is relevant, that it's accurate, and that it's complete, in other words. So the confidence in 4 depends really on the first 3 being met. So those are some of the ideas that relate to information. It's a short video. It's worthwhile going back over it and stopping the video on different slides and making your own notes of the information contained. But for the moment, that completes our video, and thank you for watching.